In this video, we will be going over volume. So for the volume of a sphere, I'm going to use 4/3 pi r cubed. I look at my circle, for example 1. My radius is 5, so I will write in 4/3 pi times 5 cubed. Just like last time, I'm going to type it in with only the values of the numbers. Power cubed. Second, PRB, enter. Second for ABC, enter. That would be 500 pi over 3. Then I add the measurement, which would be miles cubed. If it asks you to write it as a decimal, I would do 500 pi divided by 3, or I would do 4/3 pi times 5 cubed, enter. And if I had typed it in as 500 pi divided by 3, we would get the same answer, so you wouldn't have to worry about it. You could type it in either way. So this would be with pi left as a whole, and then if you enter in pi to find the decimal, that would be the decimal form. Then we have a right cylinder. We're going to use pi r squared times height. On number 2, it actually gives us the diameter. So for my radius, I will be using 10. Pi times 10 squared times the height, which is 9. I'm going to enter that in. 10 squared times 9 will be 900 pi feet cubed for volume. If it wants it as a decimal form without pi written, it would be 2,827.4 feet cubed. Example 3, we have a right cylinder, or right circular cone. So the base is circular. So my formula is 1/3 pi r squared times height. I have my radius, I have my height, 1/3 pi times 12 times 24. 1 divided by 3 times 12 times 24 is 96 pi kilometers cubed. 96 pi as a decimal is 301.6 kilometers cubed. We have a rectangular prism. What I like to do is I like to pick one of the sides, so length times width times height. I like to pick a side, so like I would pick this side of my box. This box would be 9 times 9 for the area. Length times width, that would fill in that area. But to create a volume, I now have to slide this piece all the way to the back. So in order for this piece to slide and hit this back piece over here, I have to slide it 11 centimeters. So that would be my height. So I would do 9 times 9 times 11 is 891. And if you notice, I don't have to use pi because there are no circles in my image. So there will be only one answer, or one form to write the answer. Example 5, I do the same thing. I pick a base. So like if I use this base, that base is a triangle. So my area of this would be 1/2 8 times 6. And if I had picked this one, the reason I can't use 10 for that area is because it's a hypotenuse. I only use the height and the base for a triangle's area. So I won't use the 10. In order to slide this triangle to the other triangle, I have to slide it a distance of 8. So that would be my, how far I have to slide it. So the area of this, 1/2 times 8 times 6 times 8 to get it to move. So I would enter in 1/2 times 8 times 6 times 8, enter, and then I would write it as miles cubed. On the last example, we have a prism, and I need to look at the base. This one, for my base, it would be, here's my base, I need the height and the length, I don't need the hypotenuse, so it would be 1/2 8 times 6. And then if you think about it, if you remember the cone had 1/3 in front, and it times it by how tall it was. So now I would enter that in. 1/3, 1/2 times 8 times 6 times 7 is 56 inches cubed for that one. Now I'm going to add one more. If I had, yikes, this image might look a little rough. Let's say my base had been a rectangle, say 5×3, and it goes up to a point at the top. And it says, I'm going to move that 5. It says that the height is 10. To find the area of the base, I would only do 5 times 3. I wouldn't need a fraction on this base because it's a rectangle. The only reason I needed the 1/2 for the base was because it was a triangular base. So there's my base. I put my 1/3 in front, just like we did before for the other prism. And then I times it by the height, which would be 10. I would enter this in, and it would end up giving me 50, let's say they're inches cubed. I will add more examples on a second video in case these didn't make sense.